guys, how is everyone? It is so beautiful outside. And guess what I like to do on beautiful days? Beautiful sunny days. I like to have ice cream. And I like to have ice cream on rainy days and snowy days and cold days. Every day. So I wanted to make some ice cream today. So for today, you're going to need a sponge, some paint, any colors. This is what I have available right now. And a marker. And a pair of scissors. These are adult scissors, okay, for cutting the sponge. You may need an adult to help you cut the sponge. If you don't have a sponge, just draw what we're going to do with the sponge, okay? All right, so for the sponge, I'm going to use the sponge. This is the scrubby side to get stuff off. I'm going to use this a little bit softer side. You can see that. You may even have stuff like this at home that's already in your art supplies or whatever you have. I'm using a sponge because that's what I have. And I'm going to cut out a triangle. This is kind of a curvy sponge. It's not just a rectangle, so a little bit harder, but it's okay. I'm up for the challenge. I've actually never cut a sponge before. First time. Let's try a little bit more. Can I pull it? Ah! It's a weird looking sponge now. But I do have my triangle. Well, this would be my triangle. See. But for a cone, an ice cream cone, what needs to be at top, on the top? The bigger part to hold all the ice cream. Okay. So that's what we're going to use to make a cone. Again, if you don't have a sponge, just draw a cone. You know how to draw a triangle. But make sure you draw it upside down. Otherwise, all the ice cream will spill out. Okay, so I didn't have a brown color or a beige or a tan, which the cones usually look like. So I'm going to use orange. An orange cone. Because art is using your imagination. And I'm imagining that my ice cream cone was orange. I only need a little bit of paint, and I actually grabbed a paper plate. I forgot to tell you that. I grabbed a paper plate to put for the sponge. Or you could use another piece of paper, piece of scrap paper. And what you're going to do here, I'm going to try and do it here. Try to show you. So I only put a little bit there. You're going to dip the sponge. I mean, even if you use the rough part of the sponge, that would be fine too. Or you could make crisscross lines in the triangle, and that would look like a waffle cone, the fancy big waffle cones that they have. Whatever you want. I love everything you guys make, so whatever you need. Whatever you need to do. So I'm going to dip this in. I'll show you after. I'm going to dip. And I'm just going to dip a little lightly, because if you have too much paint, it gets a little blobby. I'll dip it in. I'll do a big dip. Make sure you get that all in there. It wasn't too bad when I put it all in there. But if you have a bunch of paint and you put it in there, it's just gonna make a blob and it won't look like an ice cream cone. So this is what I did. See how my little blob, do you see those marks from the sponge going like this? Okay, that's what I did. And now Trying not to get it on my hand. It's okay though. It's washable paint. We all know we can wash our hands and use a wipe. We like to wash our hands anyways, right? With some soap. So now I'm going to start my ice cream cone. So I'm going to press it down. And you'll know if you need to press it down hard or not. It depends if you want those, all the marks or a full triangle to be all full orange. Let's just see what happens. So I'm going to press it down lightly. Let's see if I can. I put it down and I'm pressing it lightly. Let's see what happens there. Okay, that's what happened. That's pretty good. You could press it down a little bit harder if you wanted. That would be fine too. You could make a bunch of ice cream cones. I'm going to make one, but you could put, if I was doing it a little bit longer, I might put one here and one here, so I'd have three in three different sizes, small, medium, and large. Whatever you want. So now that we have our cone, we need some ice cream in it. my chair is squeaking. That's funny. I'm going to shake my paint. I was going to use yellow, but I went to use it and Shawnee put some water in it. He wanted to make watercolor paint, which is great too, but not for this. Just regular paint is good. Okay, so I think my first color, I'm going to use pink. And I'm going to use my finger. You can use a paintbrush. I'm choosing to use my finger. Another good idea, sometimes I like to pour it in the cap and use it and all that stuff, but since we have the paper plate or whatever you're using, I'm just going to pour a little bit on my plate. Little came off the side. Oh, I love this color pink. I love all the colors. All the colors I get excited about. Okay, and so that little blob right there, I'm going to take my finger, kind of make a circle. Make a little circle. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to make a circle on the plate. We're going to make our scoop of ice cream. And when you get a scoop of ice cream with the ice cream scoop, does it look round or is it square? Most of the time it looks round, so we're going to make a circle. So what we do here, see if you can see this, I might need more, but we're going to start, and you're going to put your finger around like this, and you're going to make a circle. Okay, and if you need more paint, just dab and get a little more paint. And it's okay if it gets on the cone. It's okay. And at the end, if you wanted to retouch the cone and dip the sponge in and put it over the cone just to make it a little bit darker, you could do that too. Okay. So I'm going around and around and around like a merry-go-round circle. And that is my first scoop of ice cream. I do like strawberry ice cream too. And they have ice cream these days that aren't made from milk. So if you can have milk, you could have ones that are made from soy, or there's coconut ice cream, or even almond milk ice cream. I eat those too. I'll eat any type of ice cream. One time, this is funny, one time I tried lobster ice cream. There's this really old place in Martha's Vineyard, and it's called Mad Martha's. And they have this ice cream flavor called lobster and butter, like butter that you put on your pancakes. And so there's vanilla ice cream and there's chunks of lobster in it. And then there's little chunks of butter. And people eat this for real. And they really like it. So somebody challenged me to eat it. So when I went in line, I said, I'll have the smallest size you have of the lobster ice cream. And they said, okay. And oh my goodness. So I tried it. And they and it wasn't bad at first. Because I tasted the vanilla, because we all love ice cream. And then I tasted the lobster, which I like lobster, but not in my ice cream. So, needless to say, I did that once. So, after my story, so you can use a cloth, or I'm going to use my sponge, since I'm not going to use this again, and wipe my finger off. It actually came off pretty clean of the excess paint, which means extra paint from my pink ice cream. There you go. I'm going to make another scoop, and I'm choosing my color blue. So again, I'm going to put a little dot, because you can see I still have some pink left. I don't want to waste paint, so I'm going to put a little bit, teeny bit, as much as, just like maybe the size of a quarter or dime. And then I'm going to take my finger again and put it in a circle. Move it in a circle. So even on the plate, it's a circle. Well, it looks like a little heart from that little ridge, but ridge is a little dense. So now, let's see if I can move this back so you can see. I'm going to make my second scoop. And start in and just keep moving in circles. See how it's not enough? I have my circle, but that's not big enough scoop. So I'm going to dip my finger again. And I'm going to go around in a circle. Keep going to whatever you feel it's like what you want. If it makes you happy. Okay. This makes me happy. Okay. So I have my 2 scoops right there. Look at that. Should I put a tiny little scoop at the top? There is room. Okay, I'll put a tiny little scoop. Some excess paint. Shake this up. I have a little green. Teeny tiny dot. Okay, got that. And I'm going to put my teeny tiny scoop that I could put on top. As much as this cone can fit, right? And it's okay if it gets on the other. My green is getting on my blue, and that's all right. Because how would it sit in my ice cream cone if it wasn't on top of the other ice cream? Okay, this looks pretty good. Two big scoops and one little one. How many scoops do I have? So with your marker, so my challenge to you is to write how many scoops you put on your ice cream cone. I'm going to write how many. Three. 3 is my favorite number. And guess what tomorrow is? Tomorrow's June 3rd, and that's my birthday. So it's my birthday, and it's my favorite number. And I guess it's what I prefer, which means what I like to have How many scoops I like to have on my ice cream cone? 3. But if you gave me more, I wouldn't refuse it. So I'm also going to put my name too. There you go. Enjoy your ice cream. Have a wonderful day. I miss you all.